Pepperdine.
I mean, admittedly, I think of the condiment.
Friends.
Cheerful. Surfing.
8 a.m.s.
Outgoing.
Studying abroad.
The calf tater tots.
Community. Service. Leadership.
It's a small school.
On the go.
Which I think is good and bad.
Superficial.
Awkward.
Water polo.
Cheering at games.
Not good sports.
Stairs.
Ring by spring. Dating. Non-existent.
Church of Christ.
White people. No joking.
Overcommitted.
Involvement.
Put together.
Busy, busy, busy.
I think put together is a big thing.
People. Good people.
Well, if it's a good swell, that will definitely get me up in the morning. Pretty much the prospects of it being beautiful in the day will get me up. On weekends and Saturdays, just kind of get out, drive myself out to Point Doom, climb around the rocks on the point, and then once you get around the other side and there's nobody there. And so it's nice to get out there, and then you kind of lose the civilization of California and Malibu, and then you just get back to where, you know, the wildlife is taking a chill break too. It recalibrates you for a little bit. For me, I grew up in a small town. I didn't have the exposure of knowing a whole lot of people. The high school that I came from was kind of laughably small. My graduating class was 7 kids. So really what I was looking for the most to do was kind of test who I was and see what was the core of that and what retains its solidarity in different locations, in different contexts.
When I first came to college, I'd say I was most looking forward to friendships. Before I came to college in high school, I really never had any deep friendships. I mean, I was, for 3 or 4 years in high school, I had extreme pain and abdominal pain that kind of made it so I couldn't eat. It went undiagnosed for 2 or 3 years. Got down to 62 pounds when I was 5'4" in 9th grade. And I was pulled out of school, put in the hospital for months on end. Eventually I was diagnosed, I had a surgery to fix it, and I'm able to take in enough food that I can keep a reasonable weight. So coming to college, I was really excited about finding those people who I really shared passions with and could talk about life and kind of find deeper friendships. That was probably the main thing.
What's my passion? For a time, it was definitely music. I wake up in the morning and I'm singing, usually. So I was like, oh, I must be really passionate about that. But that's almost like kind of just to get me to my baseline. What did I look forward to the most? Kind of in a weird way, the independence. I've always been like surrounded by a lot of family, had never gone to like sleepaway camp or anything, which sounds so weird, but it was like my first experience kind of really living by myself. I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of prove, you know, yeah, I can do this. I can be a functioning adult. This is gonna happen.
To me, it was like my entire life is college. Ever since I was a kid, it was like, if you don't study, you're not gonna get into college. What happens after college? I never knew. They never talked about it. Long story short, I was born in New York. My parents are originally Tunisian, and I grew up in the UAE. But no one knows it as the UAE, everyone knows it as Dubai. When I was a kid, ever since I was like little, I was like, oh, when I'm 18, I'm gonna be this and that and that. So even if I couldn't do anything at the age of 6, I had like everything written out. I was gonna act a certain way, I was gonna be a better person, I'm gonna be really smart, and then college was the time for me to get all those done.
So there's something about Pepperdine's interesting.
I think we live in a FOMO culture.
Everyone wants to be able to do everything.
I mean, I think it's part of the reason why we're also involved in so much stuff is that we don't want to miss something.
Favors extroverts?
Everyone's secretly an introvert, maybe not so secretly.
I think I didn't realize it for so long because I am extroverted.
Oh my goodness, everyone is like so peppy all the time.
Just explosive joy to see each other.
Should I be at this level right now? Because I feel like if I'm not at this level, then I'm not like...
Oh my gosh, I'm just like so involved and so busy and so stressed out.
And then you wouldn't see them sitting down at the same table.
I mean, you can still be lonely while doing that.
It's something that you kind of get used to.
Because everyone is so involved and they're so busy.
Everybody's friendly.
But you get the sense that not everyone wants to be friends.
There are people who immediately that I'm around, I just fall in love with. Their personalities are so vibrant and you can just catch on to it immediately. And as soon as you do, it seems like they just float off and they find somebody else. Every time they come in contact with a new person, they project the exact same thing. And it does create this overwhelming sense of invitation. But it seems like once you walk through that door of invitation, you find a whole bunch of people who are standing around, kind of wondering where they're supposed to go next. And so that's where we get this atmosphere of invitation, but we don't have an atmosphere of intimacy.
Loneliness to me means
I don't think anyone can understand who I am really.
Like going into a cave and everyone dipping out on you and taking out the flashlights.
This kind of sense that you're experiencing something that you need to share with somebody.
And is that a form of loneliness, missing home?
Is the pressure to be better than who you are.
A place where you don't feel connected, even though you're surrounded by people.
I don't think it necessarily is like a physical isolation. I think it's feeling like you have no one that you can trust or rely on. There was definitely a time where I thought I couldn't trust anyone for whatever reason. I think I've been blessed though to be able to kind of see through to reality though at the end of those moments. Be like, no, Lex, you're not by yourself. But then again, it's like, oh, you have all these people around you, but then which of these people can I really trust in and invest in? But then I think in those moments, the people who kind of proved to be my closest friends would sort of serve us up and be like, hey, I'm still here. You're not by yourself, it's okay.
Yeah, I've absolutely experienced that kind of loneliness here. Sophomore year, especially the beginning of sophomore year, I kind of had this perfect storm of these friends that I'd made that I felt really connected to and close to, going abroad and being thousands of miles away. And at the same time, I was having this uprising of my health getting worse, feeling like I needed people to be there for me and not having them there. I think the primary way that I ended up dealing with the loneliness, if not getting rid of it, was to reach out to the people that I was still connected with back here, and realizing that I did have those people, and I just needed to be open and honest about what I was dealing with.
For people that are coming from the outside, it will seem like everyone is put together.
We all put up faces, things are great, I'm just so busy, blah, 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 blah. But it never goes beyond that.
They're just normal people.
If you discover that you have built up walls and that you're not as open with people that you hang out with as you could be.
I really encourage people to open up and take that mask off, because there are those that will want to listen, and you can create incredible relationships through that.
Everyone is battling something at some point.
Loneliness means darkness.
It's okay to reach out and to not have everything put together.
Focus on those deep relationships.
I think light is love.
There's so many people on campus that do actually truly care.
Find someone who is at a similar point in their life journey.
Specifically for me, I think God's love.
And really work on a deep relationship with those people.
It takes time.
We all come here essentially pastless. We don't know anybody's past. We only meet them and know them in the present.
I encourage those who are just walking by to notice when that mask is being taken off.
But I want to know that past because it's so important, part of their story and how they've come to be who they are. And I want to share that past of myself with them as well.
You're being invited into something really cool.
Don't let your past define you.
We're in our 20s. We have so much life.
But don't sell it short either. There's value in it. I'm spending 4 years in the university. When I look back later, it's going to be the people that I remember, not the material.